Hey everyone, welcome to your weekly energy update, and this is for the week of August 28th through September 4th. Although these videos are timeless, so if you have come across this video outside of that time frame, I would still trust your intuition and that it brought you here for messages. If you are watching this during that period, wow, this week on September 4th at the end of the week, Mars joins the retrograde parade that's going on because all of the planets, except for Venus, will be in either their pre-shadow of their retrograde or in the middle of their retrograde. So Venus being direct, all our love lessons are still kind of focused outwardly, while all the rest of the planets, every other area of our life, are pointing us inward for this reflective period to understand things. So what does this Mars retrograde energy bring in for us? Well, Mars is known as the planet of the god of war, but it is focusing on the masculine energy part for this retrograde. We are kind of drawn to reflect on that. The men in our lives, like our fathers, those in authority over us, even brothers, cousins, anyone that had this masculine energy in our lives. And with Mars actually being in the sign of Gemini, Gemini really has to do with communication. And so I feel like what we're being drawn into for this period is a new way of communicating with those masculine energies in our lives. We, of course, are going to ask for this reading, just, creator, spirit, universe, what can we do with this Mars retrograde energy? So we'll definitely look into that. So September 4th is when the Mars retrograde pre-shadow begins, and we'll start to feel the energy of the retrograde almost on day one. And as we get closer to when it actually goes full retrograde on October 30th, then we move into that strong energy period from October 30th to January 11th of next year. That's as long as Mars is going to be in full retrograde. Then when it goes direct on January 11th, for a couple months, all the way up to March 16th, is when we're going to be in the post-shadow. And that's more of a reflective period of what did we learn during this pre-shadow and retrograde period when Mars was in Gemini, and what are we going to do with that? So that is the kind of information that we're going to be looking into here as we pull this reading. But before we jump in there, I did want to make sure you were aware, I'm right in the middle of having a YouTube subscriber marathon where my goal is to reach over 1,000 YouTube subscribers or more, of course. And when I reach that amount, I am going to be giving away 10 free 1-hour personal readings to 10 lucky individuals. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would really appreciate you consider doing so, because once I reach that, I'll put out a special video on how you can actually sign up for that drawing. But also in the meantime, I'm putting out kind of weekly another special giveaway. So I have put a link down below to my giveaway playlist. I also put links to the specific videos, whichever is more convenient for you, because there still is time to sign up for my first giveaway, which is a free 30-minute recorded personal reading. And then the second giveaway that I just put out last Friday is for a hedge of peace and love. So if you want to know more about what those are, and if you want to sign up for those, check those out below too. I'll also throw the link to the playlist at the end of the video. It'll appear here in one of the corners at the end. So I'm excited for those giveaways, and I'm also going live each weekend, and I'm going to go intermittently too on kind of like Facebook and Instagram, but I am going live on YouTube on Friday evenings at 11:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Yep, and then going over into midnight into the next morning. And then on Saturday at noon, and Saturday and Sunday at noon, I'm going live on YouTube as well. So if you want to check any of that out, just keep an eye on my Facebook, my Instagram, and Twitter, because I do put out the advertisements of when those things are happening and other information as well. All right, so enough of all that. Let's jump in to your reading and see what we can do with this Mars retrograde energy. All right, Sagittarians, this is your weekly energy update, and we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Into the Lonely Woods deck. Any of the cards I use in a reading I do list in the description box below. Give these a good shuffle, and then we'll see what the Creator and Spirit would like you to know about these Mars retrograde energies. All right, so for our Sagittarians, what would you like them to know about this energy, please? Nope, they said none of those. All right, this is the one. And do you have the Beneath Opens Up to You, card number 23. So really diving into these emotional waters, getting into the deep nitty-gritty is what's coming in here for you. Says your heart did not close even though you were no longer in the small and safe spaces of the surface world. Into the great depths you plunged, your soul a tattered, your heart in pieces, your hands closed and tight. And now look at you. You found your way in the endless beneath. Your hands have a gentle touch, and you draw to you the shyest of creatures who know you are above all an ally, kin, and friend to their rare nature. You have found a home amongst all the other misfits the world gave birth to, and you are creating your own destiny, which is clear, brighter, deeper, and more filled with joy and blessings than you could ever have imagined. Dive down into the hidden places, bright soul, and ready your heart for waves of joy. Wow, I can look like Finding Nemo, right? Which is funny because that was all about a father searching for the son, masculine energies coming in, right? But this is that you dove into your emotions and you have survived, not only survived, but you're thriving in this environment. And I really feel like the energy of this reading with this Mars energy is very transformation. It's like you've already been on this journey for such a while, and for years for some of you, and that this is the time where you just have released and you're coming into this place of openness in your heart where you haven't been before. But we'll also take a look here and see what else comes in, of course, and we're going to look into these numerology guidance cards and just see what else they'd like to add here. Right, what else for our Sagittarians, please? What else do you want them to know about this Mars retrograde energy? Okay, they want this one. So you have financial discipline coming in here, but what I'm really picking up from this is very much Taurian second house energy, which is not just about financial, but this is a worth, and this is discipline regarding your worth and what price you're putting on yourself. You have this journey, and I really feel like this is kind of what you're coming out of again, where you before looked outside of yourself for what you thought was your self-worth, but that's retail price. That's where this financial discipline is coming in, is realizing that when you put your value on yourself based on the outside world, that is not your capital S self-worth, that's retail, and that's unstable. Because the price that you put on yourself based on other people's opinion of your worth is what is so unstable in like the retail world. Because you could be this beautiful, warm, giant parka coat. Now, if you're in the Antarctic during winter, I guess it doesn't matter what season when you're in the Antarctica, but let's say winter, the coldest time, you are sought after and fought over, right? But if you're that same coat and you're on a tropical island on the equator during summer, you're on the 99% clearance rack. And that's where this financial discipline is coming in, oddly, is that it's all about your worth and where you're putting it, and that it's turning you inward. That's where these depths went in. When you went deep into your heart, that is where you're finding your self-worth. I also want to pull a card here, of course, from the Power of Surrender. And let's see what else they want to add into that there. About your search inward for your worth. So what else for our Sagittarians, please? What else do you want them to know about this adventure, this Mars retrograde energy? Oh, okay. So you do get two. One is surrender to receiving support and love. Look, here you are in the Antarctic. That one says allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. So definitely opening up to love. And then the other one is surrender your desire to control people. Look, you have a snake of the tropics. So you do have the ice and the sun, which is pretty hilarious. You have a polar bear and a snake. So it does represent the two different extremes of cold. Being over-controlling can sabotage relationships. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. So yeah, this is definitely this hot and coldness of the different temperatures in determining your worth. We'll dig a little deeper, which you've already obviously done a lot of deep diving, but they had me choose 3 different tarot decks. And the first one is the Chinese tarot. So we'll see what else. Okay, they do want that one. Any others? It's for Sagittarians. Okay, you do get those 2. Then we have the Runic, R-U-N-I-C tarot. Okay, one more. Okay, they did want the bottom one on that one. That's interesting. And any others? Okay. Okay, yep, so you get those 2. And then we have the Good tarot. Get my fingers in there. There we go. All right. So what else? Okay, I do want that one. And that one. Okay. So you've got 2, 2, and 2. We're just going to move these over a little bit to fit all these in. And we'll start with this one over here. So you have the Death and Rebirth card. So definitely this is this feeling of, definitely we talked about here about the ending and the new beginning going on here, that you did all this deep diving and now you're ready to just have this rebirth come out in a whole different way. Allow yourself to feel the love. Allow yourself to be this new being that you are now, that after everything that you've been through and you went deep diving, that you're coming out transformed into something new. So let's take a look here. What else do you have to add to that? Yeah. So you have the Ace of Staves or the Ace of Wands. New passion, new desire, new beginnings, new energy coming in. So definitely a death and rebirth happening here. And it's like the energies that you used before, investing so much in what the outside world cared about you, that you invest a lot of energy trying to raise your retail price out there, to find out now with all this beautiful deep diving you've done that retail price doesn't matter. I get to choose what my price is. I get to choose my self-worth. That's why they call it self-worth, not retail price. And so you have found this. And with all that energy that you're investing in the outside world, you stopped, and you're stopping that. And the more and more you are not investing the energy out there, the energy returns back to you in here. So love in that. And then you have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles, this is about, it is about a new worth. You're seeing yourself in a heightened worth than you ever have before. But it also represents, because of that, you do have these opportunities that are making themselves known and coming in from the outside world. This also, pages, of course, were the messengers. They go to town, hear ye, and spread the news. So this also represents that you're going to be getting communication coming in from the outside world. And it really validates your growth. And that can mean a couple things. So it could be, and it probably both is kind of what I'm feeling for most of you. You'll have people that'll be like the same old blah, 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 blah about their opinion of you and that you're not living up to what they think you should do. And, all that, poking holes in your bubble. And you're like, you know what? That used to devastate me. But now I just see that what they're saying is a reflection of how they feel about themselves. Has nothing to do with me. That great phrase, other people's opinion of you is none of your business, because it's really not about you. They're seeing your life through their own eyes of their own worth. So when someone says, you're a failure, they feel like they're failing in some way. So you're like, oh, I'm sorry you're failing. What's going on with you? Because there's something happening in their life. And so you're realizing that, and that's changing that. Also, on the flip side of that, you're going to have people that praise you. And before, you used to just, and used to alter, and I want more of that, so I'm going to do and try to repeat to try to get as much of that as I can. Now you're realizing that it's not worth anything to you as much as it was before. You're like, oh, thank you. You just told me, the retail price. You're telling me how much you think I'm worth. Okay, well, that's good information. Thank you. But it's just information. And again, we only see the positive things in others that we recognize within ourselves. So in that same vein, no pun intended, they see the greatness in you because they're recognizing the greatness in themselves. So it's like, I don't take it personally because they are not seeing things clearly. They're seeing things through their ego, through their fear, through their little filters of their little world. And so they're only telling you information about how they feel about themselves. So that's why I feel like this change is happening here as well. Yeah. And then here you have the Knight of Swords. So swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your perceptions, your expectations. And so this is movement. Knights represent movement of your thoughts and your beliefs and mindsets, which is totally in alignment with everything we've talked about here. So you are making these changes. And amazingly enough, the sword suit is also about messages and communication, as well as ideas. So getting new ideas, getting new communication is definitely reflected in both of these cards. And then you have the Nine of Earth. Perfect. Right in alignment with everything we've talked about. Because Pentacles is your inner world, right? I mean, your perception, your abundance, your self-worth, and everything. Well, the nines are like the Hermit card in the Major Arcana, which the Hermit is all about going inward with this little lamp and connecting to his higher self. It lightens the path, and so it's this inner search. And this is you finding your worth from within instead of from the outside. So exactly what we've been talking about here, pretty much through almost all of this, right? And then your final card coming in is Transformation. Card 13, Death and Rebirth. So definitely they're saying you're having this change, this rebirth of who you thought you were before, because you had taken on that retail price as your definition. But as you dove deep into your life and your emotions and your love and your awarenesses, you have transformed your understanding, and you were like, oh, you've separated retail price from your self-worth, which is beautiful, and I'm loving this for you. I don't have anything else to add to that. I mean, I'm just like blown away. You got the Death card, a book ending here of the endings and new beginnings. So during this Mars retrograde period, you are definitely going through this beautiful transformation that frees you from so much. And of course, I'd love that for you. If you are looking for more messages of love from above, in addition to these weekly energy updates, I also put out monthly readings for each individual zodiac sign and a few other types of videos. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be updated immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button. Also click the subscribe button, and that gives you access to the notification bell. And when you go in there, if you select the all option, then you will be notified of any new videos that come out on this channel. Also, doing those things, it helps spread the love, and it helps my channel grow in significant ways, because when you like a video, share a video, comment on a video, and especially subscribing to the channel, doing those things makes the YouTube algorithm so happy it wants to share the videos and messages of this channel with other people as well. So if you feel inspired to do any of those things, I am very, very grateful. Also, these are general readings, and if you're looking for even more specific information and answers for your specific life, I do offer personal readings, and all that information is listed in the description box below. I also recently introduced a sliding price scale for my recorded videos so that you can choose a price point that meets your budget instead of having just one price for everybody. So again, all that information is listed in that description box. Mighty Sagittarians, as you go through this rebirth, please know that every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things, and of course I love you too. Enjoy this journey. We'll be talking very soon. In the meantime, you hang in there and you take care.